Hey everyone, this is John Paul from Iron.io. I want to put together a quick video today to show you the basics of how to use the Docker workflow. A couple things you'll need to follow along with this. The first is our command line tool, which can be found here. And to get to this page, just log into HUD and then click on your worker. Next thing that you'll want to do is clone this repo here, and all these links will be posted in the video description. This repo has an example for a lot of different languages. Today we're going to be going over Ruby. So if there's other languages that you guys need help with, please let me know. And the last thing that you're going to need to do is have Docker installed. This has actually become really easy now. You no longer have to deal with boot to Docker. But if you guys need some help with that, just let me know. And if there's enough requests, I can put together a video. So with all that behind us, let's get into the fun. First, go ahead and open up Docker. Cool. I always like to run Docker info when I first turn on Docker, just to make sure that it's working. So you'll see if I run this here when it's not in a shell that's not within the daemon, we get this cannot connect to Docker daemon warning. So if you get that, just now you'll know what it's for. So let's go ahead and cd into the directory with this one. This is the Ruby example that we're doing here, like I said. And now that we're here, the first thing that we're going to need to do is run a bundle install, just as with anything else. Well, actually, before I get into that, let's show you what we'll actually be doing. Whoops, too much. There we go. So really standard. I mean, more or less a boilerplate. The hello, only instead of world, we are printing up the name of someone from that payload file, and then just passing a couple other pieces of information. So nothing too fancy, but this is more for the concept. Now that we know what we're running, let's actually, whoops. Send through our first Docker command. So our first Docker command, the first thing we see here is Docker run. What this is telling Docker to do is just initiate, to run whatever comes after it. The RM flag is what tells Docker to delete the container once your worker has been executed. Once that's finished up, the entire container just needs to get put away. The V flag is what sets your mount point for your local machine. So for here, that's going to be our working directory, and we're going to create a worker from there. The W flag is what sets the mount point for the Docker container, and so we just want Docker to mount right directly at the worker. That part you guys really don't need to worry about too much at this stage of the game. As you get a little bit more advanced, that will become really important, but for now you can just kind of leave that as is. This part you will want to pay attention to. This is the actual image we're going to be running this on. So for this one, we're going to be running it on the Iron Ruby image, and we're going to be running this in the dev environment. Following the image is the actual command that you'll be running. So our command for this is bundle install, the same as it would be on a local machine. Then we have a couple parameters after this. We have a standalone and a clean. These you don't need to worry about too much, and you'll only really see them when you're working with bundle install. And they basically just tell Docker that it can run on its own and to clean up any mess that it makes afterwards. So let's go ahead and run. So the first thing that we see is it is unable to find the image Iron Ruby locally. That is because we don't have a copy of this Docker image on our local machine yet, so we're going to have to go up to Docker Hub and pull in a copy. This takes a couple of moments, shouldn't be too bad, but the good news is, once this is complete, you will never have to do this again. So now you can run everything that you write, run it locally, and then as soon as you're ready to go to production or dev in this environment, you will always know that it will automatically work. I think this image is around 54 megabytes. I'll double check that though, but shouldn't take too long. All right, there we go. So now, actually I want to get a little more space there. Sorry, I just want to change the actual image I ran this from last time. Alright, so for this one, what we're going to be doing is actually executing the script that we have. So let's take a look at this. Docker run, again, just starting up Docker, and the RM is going to do the exact same thing. But now we see this new IT tag. So what that's doing is actually opening up an interactive terminal that we can use when passing through these commands into our Docker container. Next we have the E flag, and this is how you set up any environmental variables that you want to attach. So for this one, we're attaching this payload file, and then I also attached just a sort of basic empty, generic boilerplate file. And after that, everything is pretty much the same. We have the V for setting the mounting point as the current working directory, where we're going to set the mounting point for the container, the image that we're going to be running. And you probably noticed when I first ran that I had a different image up there, and that's actually a good example that you don't need to use the Iron images. You can use your own images, you can use someone else's images, you can use any images that you want. And so I'll be posting videos very shortly on how to make your own with all the dependencies that you need. But after we set the image, then we just pass through our command, and our command is just going to be ruby hello.rb, the name of that file. So let's run it. And that all looks pretty good to me. Awesome. Great, so this executed locally. Now we need to move on to step 2 of the 3-step process, upload the worker. So to upload the worker, we are first going to want to zip up the directory that we're in. Great. And let's just make sure it works. Hello.zip, beautiful. And so now we're going to upload this one. This is the first time that we'll actually be using the CLI that we downloaded earlier. So for this one, IronWorker, that's just telling IronWorker we're going to be uploading. I want to name this hello. The name of the zip file that we're uploading is hello.zip. The image to run this on is iron-ruby. And the command to run again is ruby.rb. So let's go ahead and upload. Cool, everything looks good. We didn't get any errors. Let's just go to this URL just to be safe. Great, everything is looking perfect. Now we could execute from here, but let's hop back and do this through the CLI. So let's go IronWorker Q. So for this, we're going to run IronWorker and then Q. Pretty much the same thing. We're attaching the payload file and just telling it to wait. And then this last one is hello. Hello, if you remember when we uploaded it, is the name of the worker. So let's go ahead and queue one up. So now this looks like it's running. Let's hop over to HUD to see if we can actually see anything going here. Okay, great. Look, already uploaded and it's running. So let's click into here to get a little more detail. I had only uploaded one task. Theoretically, you can upload millions of tasks and then set however many to run concurrently as you want. This is really just sort of more for using Docker than it is for how to use Iron.io. Great, looks like everything's finished. Let's take a look at the details here. And we see our task ID, task label, code we ran. Status is completed. We can download a copy of the code if we want. Image we ran on was Iron Ruby. There's our command, the cluster, our priority, when we made it, so when it started, how long it ran, when it ended, the timeout, and the payload. Let's take a look at the log just to make sure everything's still looking good. Great, so there it is. That is the Iron Docker workflow in a nutshell. It's really just those 3 steps and that easy. If you guys have any questions or need any help at all, please don't hesitate. I'm always around to teach you guys what to do. Thanks and have a great day.